Yes, new year, same us. But like every year, we get the warm fuzzies and start creating big grand plans on how to become the best versions of ourselves. Now I know what you're thinking. Another artist trying to sell me an overpriced art course. No, Lamau. I'm going to make sure you can keep working towards your goal past the middle of February and all the way till the end of the year. Let's take the most general art goals artists resolve to do, which would be get good by drawing every day. Well, for one, that's very broad. You would be pulled in all sorts of directions like anatomy, line work, clothes folds, environment, and then oh my god, I'm hyperfixating time to play some League of Legends for 5 months straight. Okay, where was I on that one art goal? Also, a year is just too long to have a vague art goal like that because it'll be easy to put off working towards it. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. If you're an artist starting out, the thought of drawing all 365 days of the year is pretty daunting. You'll need to make those large big art goals like get good or draw every day more achievable by breaking it down to more actionable and measurable steps. When breaking things down into smaller increments, you're able to find small rewards and a little bit of progress every day. You cannot be expecting to draw masterpieces right out of the gate without losing motivation early on when you realize your pieces don't go the way you want it to. You'll need to make your goal be a bit more specific. A goal like get good doesn't give you a good goalpost to shoot for. Good at what? What is even good? A goal like draw every day technically isn't measurable either. Like, are we talking about drawing one cube a day, one anime character face a day, fill out a sketchbook page once a day? To build on more specific goals, I would first make a list of where you want to improve on your art and then prioritize the specific skills you want to learn and improve on. Say you really want to get better at anatomy. I would list the specific parts of the anatomy you want to work on, like legs, torso, hands, and head, and then split that into monthly goals. To A, set a timeline to force yourself not to only work on one thing at a time, but also to see progress from beginning to end of the month. And B, focusing on one thing at a time helps you build the drawing muscles of the subject matter. Okay, so let's say you want to learn how to draw gestures in the first month. Here's an example study plan I would use if I were to focus on only drawing gestures. And in the following month, you would want to learn how to draw arms. So here's the study plan I would use for that. A similar study breakdown can be applied to other areas such as learning how to improve line art, working with colors, learning how to draw background and perspective, or even how to draw hot waifus. Any study plan can be catered to your specific art goals as long as you're consistent. As long as you're able to put in the time effort into learning your craft, improvement is guaranteed. Just don't give up. I have my game plan. How the heck do I fit this in my extremely busy routine and still have time to relax, eat, and sleep? And that leads me to the second part of this video, building a habit. The easiest way to truly draw every day no matter what is by forming a habit. As a refresher, a habit is a settled or regular tendency to practice, especially one that is hard to give up. And statistically, it takes around 59 to 70 days to build a habit. Other typical habits in your life include brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, heading to work at 8 a.m., normal things that are built into your day. And now we are going to rewire your brain to include art there as well. We'll need to start from zero and build up an art habit that fits seamlessly into your current routine. You don't just go big and spend 3 hours on art for the first 3 days of the year and then just pray it'll stick during your busiest and least motivated weeks. As cliche as it sounds, your art habit needs to start super simple. If you want to start a sketchbook habit and you draw one anime face on day 1, yay, you did it. If you want to start painting a background as a habit and you draw one tree, hooray, that's a dub. You'll need to be able to accomplish small art wins before you chase after the big art wins. Back to my previous example, if you want to improve on how to draw gestures, and are building a habit around it, sure, drawing one 30-second gesture a day, every day for the first month won't show an extreme massive improvement from the first day to the last, but at the beginning stages of habit building, you'll need to get your mind used to the act of drawing. Once you're comfortable with drawing one gesture a day in your sketchbook, you'll be able to start increasing the quantity and start drawing with the intent to improve. On day 3, you think, oh, okay, well I have my sketchbook open already, and I drew a gesture, so why not draw another? And then another, and then another. So one day you can draw 5 gestures, and another you draw 3 gestures. But those are all still working towards your inevitable goal of A, improving in the area that you are specifically studying, and B, drawing every day. A lot of misunderstanding with goal setting is that there is the tendency to start from zero and think a sudden change is going to magically make you get better at everything as fast as possible. And when you're not creating the masterpieces by the end of month 1, you're disappointed and eventually quit. That approach is never realistic and is a recipe to fail early on. On the flip side, when you hit your small goals daily, you are more motivated to do it again tomorrow. The goal here is to make this part of a minor lifestyle change until your brain is too used to doing the habit that it becomes too difficult to break. Like most gym bros say, consistency is key. Sounds easy enough, right? And what if you don't come up with a good drawing every day? Do not let that discourage you. Remember, the goal here is to build a habit and focus on consistently clocking in. We all need to draw hundreds of bad drawing and meh drawings before we get to the good one. So just close your eyes and clock in. And the best part about art is that we don't have to show anyone. We don't have to post every piece online. Everyone, including the artist you look up to, will always have a bad drawing day that is not shown to the world. No matter how far you are in your art journey, there is always something new to learn, and that is the best part about reflecting and reminiscing on your art journey thus far and formulating your next step forward. By splitting up the big, vague goals with smaller steps, it is much more doable to start habit setting while still seeing improvement along the way. And once you have been drawing for 365 days, you are 365 days a better artist than you were at the beginning of the year. Now let's see this habit applied to my personal experience. In August of last year, I started a daily sketchbook habit, and as you can see, I'm just focusing on filling in the pages with line studies like anatomy, clothes folds, and hand. In the moment, I'm not feeling the improvement since I'm just drawing and moving on. But when you compare my first pages to my most recent, I can say I'm pretty proud. Also, illustration has been a lot easier ever since I got over my fear of drawing those darn hands. It is January now, so this is 4 months of progress. I've also started doing still life studies in September of last year, and when I first started, I was so embarrassed I didn't share it with anyone. But you know, the wonderful thing about art is that you don't have to show everyone every piece. But I did start by drawing one of these once a day. Most of them were around 15 to 30 minutes. But of course some subjects took a lot longer than others. Sometimes I even went and did some Pinterest studies when I didn't feel like staring at another box. I'm so glad I kept every single still life study, and even if some came out questionable. Because after a couple of months, I managed to grasp the concept and not only saw improvement, but also drew faster as well. Some of my proudest works were in most recent studies. I definitely would not have gotten this far if not for consistently grinding previously. I used to be the artist that would have a burst of being eagerly motivated and then lose steam and not draw for weeks on end. And I can tell you, I made a much bigger jump of improvement by forming a consistent habit in 3 months than that one time I drew for the entirety of 2017. I hope these habit building techniques can help you improve whichever goal you set sights to and crush it in the good year of 2025. Speaking of which, I also want to share my plans and art goals for 2025. Hello! I like to draw my silly little stories and post them online. Last year, I was so consistent with drawing, but spent a big chunk of time handling non-art related things. But I'm so proud I managed to produce some of my best work this past year, such as this painting and this painting. I really want to focus on colors, lighting, and brushwork this year, so that will be the focus of my studies, at least while I'm not working on comics. I'll be submitting a comic entry to the Silent Manga edition and working on that for the month of January. And then, I'm also working on submitting a comic for the Kadokawa Silent Manga contest, which will take place on the month of February. Some of these pages I do plan to work on my weekly Wednesday live stream, so feel free to tune in for that, or you can watch them under my live tab after the stream. I do intend to post these comics in its entirety for you to read online once the dust settles. And then I finally want to return my action-adventure webcomic from hiatus because it's been over a year since my last update, but that will come after the projects I previously mentioned. I'll make an announcement on my social medias and YouTube community tab once I have a solid date on the horizon. As for YouTube, I hope to grow my channel and improve my editing, and decrease the speed of editing because my god, that takes forever. Anyways, I started uploading on this channel again late last year and wanted to extend my heartfelt thank you to those who have viewed my videos, watched my live stream, and subscribed. I still plan on streaming my work every Wednesdays and have a variety of different streams in the work, like inking a manga on paper, Copic marker illustrations, as well as gouache painting. And of course, I'll still continue the comic and digital painting stream. Thank you so much for supporting this channel in its infancy, and I hope to continue growing from here as both a YouTuber and artist. If you're still here, thank you for watching this video, hope to see you in the next one, and wishing you all a darn good year. Okay, bye.